Any feedback? Okay, hello, my name's Jo Hook. I am Managing Director and co-founder of Temwa. We work in northern Malawi. Temwa was started, well, the concept of Temwa came in 1999 when myself and a friend, Sophie, were living and working in Malawi. We were just running a backpackers lodge, and a member of staff, a wonderful man called Lottie Nkwazi, who was a gardener, would come to work, always very friendly and smiley, and he became very sick, so we would provide him with paracetamol. Got to the point he was so ill he couldn't come to work. So we went to visit him at home. His wife had already died of AIDS. His sister was trying to care for him. Her husband had died. She had 8 children. He had 7 children. She was trying to grow enough food to feed 15 children and care for her sick brother while dying with no support. And I walked home crying many times, and it even brings me to tears now, even though I've said this story a million times. So Sophie and I returned to the UK, empowered to do something, and we returned in 2003 and built a community centre you can see just there. What we do now, we run projects covering health education, microfinance, agriculture, forestry, schools projects, and they're all interlinked. We've been running for 12 years. The easiest way to explain how they're interlinked is to tell you a story. And this is Agnes. I met her a few years ago. An incredible lady who went to one of our health education sessions, became encouraged to test for HIV. She tested positive. She joined a support group we helped to set up and became open about her status. She was then shunned from her community. People stopped talking to her. They stopped sharing food with her. They wouldn't shake her hand. She then joined one of our agricultural training projects and was able to grow enough vegetables to feed her and her children, the orphans she looked after, and then she grew surplus. They had a more nutritious diet and she could sell some to make profit. And when she sold vegetables, which are a rare commodity in Malawi, the people who wouldn't talk to her came to buy the vegetables. So she was able to say, "Are you going to catch HIV from my vegetables?" You wouldn't shake my hand. And she really had a go at them. That was amazing to see her really empowered. So Temwa's having a really big impact. We work in very remote rural areas where other larger organisations have been asked to go and work and no one else will work there. There's no road networks. We get there by foot or by lake. There's huge funding cuts for overseas aid and communities desperately need help. So please fund us. What we're doing is different and it's working. I'm going to pass you over to Sheena, who's going to tell you about the project now that we want to fund.
Great, thanks. We're here today to ask for £6,000 to support our project, the Cultivate Natural Way. It looks at joining people to get skills training to be able to firstly provide livelihoods and secondly conserve the forests and natural resources that so many people rely on. So many of us here, I'm sure, love trees and know the importance of trees and the forests around us. And that's no different in northern Malawi. When we ask people there, why are trees important or why do you love them, they tell us that they're life givers. They provide food, they provide animal fodder, they provide soil fertility and attract rainfall. So the next natural question we quite often ask is that important? Why are you cutting them down? And the answer is very simple. It's to survive. Forests offer communities in these areas a small amount of resources to be able to earn an income that enables their families to live and survive, whether that be from sending their children to school so they can one day get out of poverty, whether it's to be able to feed their children or to access really vital healthcare services. So sometimes it's charcoal selling, sometimes it's just clearing land to be able to do more farming. But the immediate need to survive outweighs the future impacts and the climate change that we are so often seeing increasing. We see droughts and floods that further erode the livelihood resilience of these families. So, our forestry impact to date has been incredibly successful, but yet we're still not seeing conservation at the rate we want. So, what are we going to do? Well, working with the community, we've come up with an innovative approach that we believe is very different. We're asking for the £6,000 to train 100 entrepreneurs in honey production, mushroom farming and soybean production. Honey and mushroom farming, or production, they rely on healthy forests. They're conservation-based activities, whereas soybean production fixes nitrogen back in the soil so you get much more healthy soil and you can grow more food. All of the participants will receive training in one of those nominated activities. And alongside that, crucially, people will also be given support in market linkages, in business training, marketing and finance. Each entrepreneur will be given the support to work with Temwa so that they can then access microfinance loans that will then enable them to expand their business alongside the conservation plan that will ensure that people are empowered to work back in their communities to conserve. The whole premise of this project is based on the fact that forest-friendly businesses can be profitable, and the minute that people can start generating an income through that sustainable method of income-generating activities, they will then have the ability to conserve and the incentive to conserve. We've now got 2 commercial partners to be able to support us with market linkage, and they're 2 huge companies in Malawi. There's ShopRite, which is an international supermarket that will purchase vegetables and mushrooms from our farmers, and there's also Mzuzu Coffee Cooperative that will support with honey selling and soybean production. So it's £55 per person to enable each family that we are looking at. So there's 100 families, which will equate to about 800 people with sustainable livelihoods that will dramatically change lives. Oh, I'm sorry to cry. Overnight. So, yeah, I think I have to stop.
I'd like to say one last thing. A few years ago, we met a wonderful man called Dr. Harry Potter, and he tragically died a few years ago. God, why are we both surprised? And his son gave us a quote. Harry had worked for DFID for over 40 years, and he said, "After a lifetime in overseas development, I recall my father saying to me, 'Finally, I have found an organisation that have got it. What Temwa are trying to achieve and the way they're going about it is exactly right. Their model should be replicated across the entire development community.'" So, yeah.
Thank you so much for a very moving presentation. We've got lots of questions. I think your hand went up first there. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing all that. I think I'm just a little bit confused about sort of the objects of the charity itself. So is it that initially you started running projects in Malawi to help people run sort of self-sustaining businesses and to use the crops around them to for their own livelihood, and then subsequently you've realised the impact it's had on the environment, and that's where this project comes in specifically? Or was it always, did you always have sort of forestry in mind?
No, we started off very small. We asked the community what they wanted, so all the projects have been designed off the back of what the community has requested. We started off doing HIV and AIDS education projects, which expanded to support services, and expanded to testing, expanded to education, and only when we knew we were stable did we expand into agriculture and forestry and farming. And we've been running for almost 12 years. We've gone from being tiny to growing quite dramatically. We're still growing and we want more support. What we've realised is that it's very hard to do one thing. If you focus on HIV and AIDS, people are struggling because they can't provide enough food to feed their families every day. You focus on agriculture, issues of HIV. Agriculture is not going to solve everyone's problems. You need microfinance to help people expand their businesses. When you work in very remote, rural areas, you can't just focus on one thing. It's very complex. You need huge areas that you can cover to really look at developing your community.
Sorry, yes, you.
Yeah, hi. What sort of size are you? I mean, staff-wise, either in the UK or in Malawi?
It was 2.5 members of staff in the UK for a while. Sheena was our first full-time member of staff 4 years ago. We've just become 3 full-time members of staff in the UK, and we have 40 full-time members of staff in Malawi who are all Malawian. It's entirely Malawian run. We will have volunteers and experts who will come in from overseas to support, but we feel it very important that it's Malawian-led.
Thank you.
Yes, please.
2 miserable questions. It reminds me very much of what I did with German aid in Malawi, in Katabay and many other places 20 years ago. What changed? Malawi continues to get money and to be sort of aid dependent.
I don't know if it's what... Oh, sorry.
Secondly, arising from a seminar I went to earlier today, 40 staff, you and so on, why not divide it among the families you help and just give them the money?
To start with, to answer your first question, I don't think you would have worked in Carter Bay North, which is where we work. We were the first NGO to work there. Many people working in Carter Bay South. There are areas that are densely populated where everyone works. We're the first NGO working in that area. And we're seeing, as Harry Potter, who has more experience than anyone in this room in development, felt that he found something that was working, that was different. I forget the second question, which was...
I think
So why not give them the money?
Why don't you just give
Because that's what people have been doing for
No, they
decades and
haven't. Cash
decades now,
transfers
and
are
that
the new
hasn't
thing in
changed.
aid, I'm sorry.
So is it,
Cash transfers, stop it, employing consultants like me, just giving people money instead is the new thing in aid, and that's the way it's going. I just wonder whether it wouldn't be better to divide the amount of money you're getting, spending on yourselves and everything else, amongst people, giving them money and the freedom to decide what they do.
I think that's a really interesting debate, but I actually think it's quite a long debate.
It's-
And I would love to talk. Can we talk afterwards? Are there any
Okay.
other questions?
Yes, please.
So you've said there are 40 local staff in Malawi. Are they doing the HIV education? Are they training in the soybeans, the honey, the mushrooms? Are they handing out them, dispersing the microfinance loans? What are they doing? I mean, I can't get a sense of, are you partnering with local people or are you organisations?
so all of our
Staff.
project staff work specifically on the projects we run, but then we don't just employ Malawians to work in Temwa. We work with hundreds of volunteers throughout the community, and quite often the projects end up being led alongside our project staff by community members. So we are constantly building capacity of community members and our members of staff, who many of them have actually come from the communities that we serve. So they'll have their own areas of expertise.
So our staff, we have a programme director, a deputy director, a finance and administration manager, we have a microfinance manager, we have a programme manager, we have a project officer for our new agriculture and forestry project. We then have project officers who cover each of the project areas. There's one specifically for agriculture, one for forestry, one for microfinance, one for health, one for education. We have field officers who support all of those. So does that explain how the staff setup works? Any other questions?
Yes, please.
Just focusing in on one particular strand of your work, whichever one you would like to explain, can you give us an idea of numbers, sort of the numbers of people and families that you support, and the sort of longevity of the impact on those communities?
Okay. Well, I suppose in all of our projects reach 40,000 people in some way. Because they're so interlinked, sometimes it can be quite hard to say that agriculture only reaches 2,000 people, because of the fact that we train community members, such as Lee Farmers for Agriculture, say. We will train 2,000 people with the skills, but we quite often pick some of those community members to provide training of trainers training. And they will become Lee Farmers who will work on demonstration gardens in their community. And recently I've had reports back saying that there's 3 trainings and 1 demonstration garden very far up north in the region. And every week that Lee Farmer is seeing 55 additional people that he is training.
Great. Thank you so much.
We're really keen to get more support in a number of different areas, and we need really basic things like second-hand laptops, phones, cameras, all sorts of things like meeting rooms and Londons, and we're really keen to expand. So if anyone wants to help us support and expand further, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
That's all the clarity right now, and I urge you to open your hearts and your wallets and enjoy what it feels like to be a philanthropist, and just give, and give loads. Thank you so much.
Hi everybody, my name's Paul Kelland. Not Jeremy Corbyn, as somebody rather encouraged. Not least of which because I'm 10 years younger than him. We're about to move on to the pledging session. This is something that makes, I think, the Funny Network slightly unique, and it's one of the things that makes us really effective and efficient as an organisation. But when we do that, can I just ask the presenters of the projects to leave the room? Just the presenters, not their supporters and everything, just the presenters to leave the room, and when we do the pledging session, because that's kind of slightly how we do it. Can we have a big round of applause, please? Thanks ever so much. That's absolutely fantastic. And I'd like to say also thank you to the selection committee, who once again have chosen some really fantastic projects. And we're going to move on to the pledging session. I'm going to explain a little bit more about that, but there are some other things that make the Funding Network, I think, an unusual organisation. So I was one of 4 people who helped set this up 12, 13 years ago, something like that. And we were really keen that we set up an organisation that made the world a healthier, happier and fairer place. And that's really at the core of what we're trying to do. But also, one of the things that we also do is, as a sort of spin-off really, and you've just seen that today, this afternoon, is we often have really inspirational, creative, innovative and imaginative and committed people who come and present. And they are fantastic people to talk to about their projects, and I hope you've had a chance to do that. But I want to give you an example of how that kind of slightly spins off. And I've done this such a long time, but it still is fantastic, really. Just this summer I was going on sabbatical. I'm a GP in East London, but I have a sabbatical every 6 years. And I went to Tanzania. I wanted to go to Tanzania. I worked in Zimbabwe back in the day, and that was a bit tricky to go to, so I went to Tanzania. And I thought, you know what, we've supported some interesting projects that have links with Tanzania. So I contacted Tackle Africa. I don't know, do any of you remember Tackle Africa? They presented twice. It's an organisation that teaches HIV education through football coaching. Yeah, I know, who would have thought? What a strange thing. But they do, and it's a fantastic project. We supported them twice. And I wrote to them and emailed them and asked them, would it be kind of hook up? And when we got to Tanzania, we met a lady called Joanne, who's out there, amazing. She's by herself, just helping set up Tackle Africa in Tanzania. With sister organisations. They were based in Rwanda. And me and my family, because we all went out together, went, I don't know if you've been to Dar es Salaam in Tanzania, it's like a Mad Max city. It's a city on steroids with cars and people and stuff going on. And Vingunguta is a tiny little township on the outskirts of that. It's crushingly poor. And I went with my family and to watch one of these Tackle Africa projects. And these are little kids ranging from about 6 to 13 doing their football drills and learning about HIV education through their football coaching. And it will remain with me one of the more memorable experiences of my life so far, and certainly for my children. These young children really showed me how to live life. They are vital. These kids just lived life to the full, and they were really receptive to us going there and incredibly kind. And that was a fantastic experience. So on our forms, you may see there's a little form that says other support. I really would encourage all of you, if you want to, if you go travelling somewhere, contact some of the projects that we've seen, because it's a fantastic way into a place, in a purely selfish way. It's an amazing thing to do, but also it's a really committed way of linking up your giving with also experience for your own life, and I think it was a fantastic thing. And then the spin-off that got even bigger than that. When I came back here, only last week I was invited to the education session they had in East London for 4 teachers. They've only a small little room, 4 teachers who are giving up their time between 6 and 12 months to go and teach these kids. And it's really inspirational to meet them. These teachers from from England were going out to Tanzania to teach football coaching. And these were inspirational people too. So the Funding Network can give you all kinds of other things, as well as link you up with interesting projects. Our pledging session, can I just explain how it works? I don't know, some of you I think are brand new and don't know how this goes, but it's fairly straightforward. We go through each project, and then I ask the members of the room to give their money if they wish. There are forms, and this is really important just for our admin side, so a little bit of dull admin stuff if you can. When you give your money away, just write the amount you're going to give, and tick the gift aid box if it's from UK taxed income, because that makes an extra 25%. I'm sure most of you know that, but that is really helpful if you can do that. Please make sure the numbers tally. That's also really helpful for us. But there's a little box, other support, and you can tick that and the projects can contact you. So that's quite an interesting thing to do as well. Have I forgotten anything? No? Anyway, we'll go through this thing twice. So we go through each project. The one of the sponsors comes up and they have a little 1 or 2 minutes, and then we go through each project. Oh, right, okay. So you can give anonymously if you want. I mean, there's a little comment in about how you can do that. What we'd like you to do when we go through each project, if you put your hand up, say your first name and initial. So I'm Paul Kelland. Paul K, £100. That's what you want to give. And just because it makes it easy for us to do. And there's a minimum of giving is £100. That's right. But I'm not sure. It can break down if you give less. We'll take that too, to be fair. And you can give anonymously. You can contact people afterwards. We like to get the money to the projects really quickly, within a couple of weeks. So at the end of today, if you can give a cheque, that'd be really great, or very soon afterwards. Is that right? Okay.
Sorry, I have a question.
Yes, you ask.
I want to nag my husband into giving to one of these. How does that work?
That's called marriage counselling. Teasing. How do you mean?
Well, he's really into theatre and he's got lots of money. money.
Okay,
so
then nagging.
we can take your details.
We can take it into yeah. We're not really very proud. You know, if you want to give money away, and you can do that later, that can happen tomorrow, the next day, or so on and so forth. That's absolutely fine. Is that all right? Okay, what we're going to do first of all is going to go through, so the Kids Time Foundation, so there's a sponsor needs to come up to the front. Oh, Carol, thanks so much. And, yeah. And we have a lot of tech here, so you can see how much is given.
Okay, well I came across this charity about 5 years ago when a colleague who's here tonight, who's a psychiatrist, had started to work for this charity and just talked about how brilliant it was, how the people working could go in and work with children and parents, and that the difference it made was very immediate and very quick. Very little is needed in this. But of course, as you heard today, our social services and the National Health are not making the connections between parents who have mental health difficulties and their children. And what I think is so very moving about what we've seen from those two young people talking about tonight is that for a young person who's got a parent who's got mental health problems, they don't usually know really that anything's wrong. They kind of sense it is, but they become incredibly isolated. And also the parents are too. The parents don't ever really have an opportunity to know how to talk to their children about this. So Kids Time brings these two groups together with specialists, not only psychiatrists and doctors, but also drama specialists and group leaders. And they set up days where parents and children can talk together, and it makes an incredible difference. Now, I just reminded myself, talking to Paul tonight, that when I was a teenager, I'd forgotten about this. My dad had several nervous breakdowns, and a new counsellor came to the school. And I can remember on several occasions standing outside the door and not daring to go in because I knew my parents would be totally humiliated if the school contacted them. Now what this charity is doing, it's bringing those parents and children together and it's saying we can help you, and they do. So I really hope you can give generously tonight. I mean, there's no better thing, is there, than to help a child, because this is our future and it takes this work quickly and effectively into the future. They also want me to say they've got a launch on the 26th of October. Please go on their website and see it, and they'd love your practical support if you're interested, as well as your financial support.
And how much have you got to give something?
And I'm going to start it off with £300.
Thank you very much, Carol. Okay, so we're going to start with Kids Time. So would anybody else like to contribute to Kids Time?
Giles C 100.
Giles C 100. Thank you very much, Giles. Thank you.
Olivia's only 100.
Olivia D 100.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yep.
Vanilla 200.
Fenella 200. Thank you very much, Fenella.
Roger 100.
Roger 100. Thank you very much.
Jan, 100.
Thank you very much, Jan. £100. Thank you.
100.
Sorry.
Mimi, 100.
Mimi 100. Thank you very much, Mimi.
Hugh 300.
Hugh 300. Thank you, Hugh.
Lee 200.
Lee 200. Thank you very much, Lee.
Tony £2,000.
Tony £2,000. Thank you very much, Tony. Wow. Yeah, thank you at the back there.
Jeffrey 100.
Jeffrey 100. Thank you very much, Jeffrey. Thank you. Yep.
Jill, 600.
Jill 600. Thank you very much, Jill. Thank you.
Jane, 100.
Jane 100. Thank you very much, Jane.
Terry 100.
Terry 100. Thank you very much.
Lenny 100.
Lenny 100. Thank you, Lenny.
Susan, 100.
Susan 100. Thank you very much.
Finn 300.
Finn 300. Thanks, Finn. Thank you.
Christopher P 100.
Christopher P 100. Thank you for Christopher. Yep. Anyone else? Yep.
Alex L 250.
Alex L 250. Thank you, Alex.
Daniel J 200.
Daniel J 200. Thanks, Daniel. Sorry, right at the back there.
500. Tina,
Tina 500. Thank you very much, Tina.
Jenny, 200.
Jenny 200. Thank you very much, Jenny. Tom £1,000. Thanks, Tom. Woo. Paul 100. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
How are we doing? So I haven't even been looking. Oh, goodness me, we're doing very well. But you know, these only guides. It's I'm sure they can do more. Well, we're going to come through again, actually. By the way, so if everybody thinks they're halfway through, that we'll come back to that. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Kids Time. And we will go through that again, so they may well raise even more. So if we can go to the Bet No More. Obviously, I look after lots and lots of patients from different communities for whom gambling is endemic, and it's a huge issue. So, interesting project, yeah.
Yes, I met Frankie at the School for Social Entrepreneurs, and as you probably know, there are lots of quite remarkable people there. But when I met Frankie, he kind of speaks for himself, because what you see is what you get. Frankie was a gambler. He was an addicted gambler. It came pretty close to ruining his life. He turned it round when he hit rock bottom, as he said, and he then went out and got the kind of training and experience that he needed in order, in the end, to work with people who'd been through what he'd been through. So he's actually quite a rare bird in a way, in the sense that he's been there and back, and is now working with other people so that he can help them. And to me, that's about as impressive as it gets. He's also incredibly well organised, so things work very, very well. And he's extremely shy. So for him to come up and speak as he did this evening is pretty remarkable too.
So, Fenella, you're going to give something? You're meant to give something?
I am. I'm going to give £300.
Fenella, £300. Thank you very much. And of course, for all those people presenting, it's actually a really big deal. It's incredibly impressive that they do that, and those young people too. I mean, not just, really impressive. You know, even me standing here, there's just a sea of faces. You know, it's quite a big thing. Right. Okay. So, Fenella's £300. Anybody else like to kick off and support Bet No More? Yeah.
I'll do 100, Terry.
Terry, £100. Thanks, Terry. Yeah.
Jeffrey, 100.
Jeffrey, 100. Thanks very much, Jeffrey.
Liz H, 2000.
Liz H, 2000. Thanks, Liz. Janice, 100. Is that right? Yeah, thank you very much, Janice. Yeah. Steve M, 100. Thank you, Steve. Lee, 200. Thanks, Lee. Yep.
Now another one, £50, please, Saparna.
Saparna, £50. So straight away breaking the rules. Well, we're California. There we go. The world hasn't ended. Thanks so much.
Finn, 200.
Finn, 200. Thanks, Finn.
Patricia H, 150.
Patricia H, 150. Thanks very much.
Susan, 100.
Susan, 100. Thank you very much, Susan.
Meredith, 200.
Meredith, 200. Thanks, Meredith.
Carol, 200.
Carol, 200. Thanks, Carol.
Jane, 100.
Jane, 100. Thanks very much, Jane. Thank you. Yep. Yep, sorry.
Mimi, 100.
Sorry, Mimi, 100. Thanks, Mimi.
Jenny, 200.
Jenny, 200. Thanks, Jenny. Yep, at the back. Tom, 500. Thanks, Tom. Paul, 100.
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah, that's so going to be a running gag now. Why not? Yep.
Alex L, 75.
Alex L, 75. Oh, haven't we got the skills for it? Have we got the skills for that? So, look at that. You
All these rule breaks.
These rules. It sounds so radical.
25.
Sorry. Yeah, look at that.
No,
oh, we live so dangerous. Yeah.
Sarah, 100.
Sarah, 100. Thanks very much, Sarah.
Adrian C, 100.
Sorry?
Adrian C, 100.
Adrian, thanks. £100. Thank you. Yep. Bet No More. Anybody else interested in supporting them? Again, we will come through it round again. So how are they doing so far? 5,100. Normally with gift aid it's about 10%, because not we give some gift aid, so that's another. Yeah, it's another little bit. We're getting quite close. Yep. Ben. Thanks. 50. So we've winkled out the first person who doesn't like slightly odd-looking numbers. Then we've gone for the, to make it round. Yep.
Christopher P, another 50.
Christopher P, another 50. Thank you, Christopher. Anyone else? Bet No More. Yep.
Daniel, 100.
Daniel, 100. Thanks, Daniel. Anyone else? Bet No More. Still doing very well. They're pretty well close, I'd imagine, now with gift aid, but still, we'll come back to them again. Any Bet No More? We'll do one more link again. Great, thank you very much. Excellent. Okay, Curious Monkey next. So can the sport come up and... Lovely.
Oh, quite anxious. So, I've known Curious Monkey for a very short time, but I know from Amy's impact on me, I can utterly believe that she is going to make such an incredible change on the world. The team at Curious Monkey really believe in righting wrongs, in bringing the attention to social injustice. And you can just feel it, it's about people, you can really sense it. So they're really good at drama. What do? They collaborate with strong charities, in this particular case, in the Children's North East and the local care system, to make sure that their projects work. And they know about impact assessments, and they know about how people need to tell their story, but they also know about leaving a legacy so that they reach more than just those 30 people, those 30 children that they were talking about. This could reach policymakers from what they've done in the past. This could really leave an incredible story on the internet, and you've seen the quality of the theatre. The theatre is really strong, it stands up on itself, and they're creating an original piece of theatre as well. So I really know these people can be supported. It's this project, but it's more than that. We know from the statistics that there's an issue here to be addressed. And then finally, I just wanted to point out that if they do get 10% of their project amount tonight, they will be able to lever that and lever it 10 times if they can get the Arts Council funding. So tonight could be really impactful.
Great. So, and you're going to support
Yeah,
them?
I'd like to start tantalising you all with 250.
Thank you very much. Kate, 250, thanks a lot. Okay, Curious Monkey. Anybody else like to chip in with that project? Yes. Jill, 100. Thanks very much, Jill. Sorry?
Sarah, 100, and my husband.
Sarah, 100.
Well, nag him.
Is he here? Is he?
No.
I was going to say that's so weird to say. So thank you very much. So how much is that in total? Oh, 100. 100. Okay, but nagging it'll be more. Yes.
Just any other as well.
Jeffrey, 200. Thanks very much, Jeffrey. Yeah.
200, Roger.
Roger, 200. Thank you.
John D, 150.
John D, 150. Thanks, John.
Patricia H, 150.
Patricia H, 150. Thank you very much.
50 from Soprano.
Soprano, 50. Thank you very much.
Jan S, 100.
Jan S, 100. Thank you very much.
Hugh, 300.
Hugh, 300. Thanks, Hugh.
Susan, 100.
Susan, 100. Thanks very much, Susan. Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Carol, 100.
Carol, 100. Thanks, Carol.
Terry, 150.
Terry, 150. Thank you very much.
Fenella, 100.
Fenella, 100. Thanks a lot. Yep. Jan, 100. Thanks, Jan.
Judith B, 2000.
Judith B, 2000. Thanks, Judith. That's great. It's all good. It's all good. Very good. Anybody else? Yep.
Alex L, 100.
Alex L, 100. Thanks, Alex. Yeah, at the back. Tina, 100. Thank you very much, Tina. Paul, 100.
Yay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tom L, i.e. not the same Tom that's been bankrolling everyone else so far. 100.
Tom L, 100. Thanks very much. Anyone else? Well, Curious Monkey. I said we're going to come to you one more time. Yep.
200.
Lee, 200. Is that right? Thanks very much, Lee. So 4750, they'll be at 5253, something like that. Yep.
Giles, 100.
Giles, 100. Thanks very much, Giles. Oh, yep. Tom, 500. Thanks, Tom. So again, getting quite close. Anyone else for Curious Monkey? Yep.
Ollie, 100.
Ollie, 100. Thanks very much.
Kate, 50.
Kate, 50. Thanks very much, Kate.
What's the total?
Well, it's 5-5 now with
Oh.
gift aid. It's nearly there. It'll be there, really, I'd imagine, with gift aid, but still. A bit more. Anyone else? Okay. We're going to stop there with that project for now, and then we'll come back to that one more time at the end. Temwa. So the Malawi project. So, sponsor.
Okay, hi. We've been supporting Temwa for 7 years, which has included visiting them. I've been to visit them twice in UCC in Malawi. Now, what they're doing, it might sound like they're doing an awful lot, but they are. But that is because they go in and they speak to the community who are very poor and in the middle of nowhere, and they ask them, what do you need? What do you think will work? And generally, poor people know what they need. They know what will lift them out of poverty, and they ask them for specific, not just money, but a specific, is it a healthcare institution, is it a doctor in that instance? In this case, it's a livelihood project that Temwa will then provide in the most sustainable way possible. This livelihood projects, they've been doing other micro-business work for the past 4 years. They've had huge amounts of successes. They found that the families, once they do have a small business that's running well, they can then afford medical fees, they can afford to send their kids to school, they can, they're really lifting themselves out of poverty. And so this intervention does work, and I hope you can support them.
And you're going to support them?
I'm
to
going
the
to start
tune
with
of
£200.
£200. Thank you very much. Okay, who else would like to start off? Temwa. Yes.
I'll do 200.
200. Thank you very much.
Jane, 100.
Jane, 100. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Tony, 2,000.
Tony, 2,000. Thanks, Tony. Yeah. Janet, 100. Thanks very much, Janet. Jeffrey, 100. Thank you very much.
Christopher P, 100.
Christopher P, 100. Thanks a lot.
Fred, 200.
Fred, 200. Thank you very much. That was said slightly quizzically. Very good. Thank you very much, Fred. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Alex L, 100.
Alex L, 100. Thank you very much. Anyone else? Temwa. Paul, 100.
Susan, 100.
Susan, 100. Thank you very much, Susan. Yeah. How much? Sorry, Tom? 1,000. Thanks very much, Tom. Anyone else to support? Temwa, yeah.
Meredith, 100.
Meredith, 100. Thanks very much, Meredith. Thank you.
Daniel, 100.
Daniel, 100. Thanks very much. So 4, 5. So they're the best part of sort of just over 5, I'd imagine now, something like that. Is gift aid. Anyone else to support? Temwa, yeah.
100. Jenny, 100.
Jenny, 100. Thanks, Jenny.
Carol, 100.
Carol, 100. Thanks, Carol.
Malcolm, in recompense for my misery, 50.
More.
You were quite miserable. Thanks very much. That's very kind. That's very kind. Thanks very much. Yep. The gift is, that whole, it's an interesting discussion to have. We should definitely have one of our start-up conversations maybe about that kind of thing, about what's effective gifting. Yeah, that would be quite interesting one day. Anyone else for Temwa this first time round? But we're going to come back to them again. 4,750, so they're
Giles, 150.
Giles, 150. Thanks very much, Giles. Paul, 100 to get them up to 5,000.
Thanks, Paul.
But that's quite round. There's got to be somebody who doesn't like round numbers. But we'll come back to that in a minute. So that they're about 5,500, something like that with gift aid, maybe a little bit more, depending on, yeah. Okay, we're going to stop with Temwa, so we're going to go back to the first project. This next one is a little bit quicker than the first time round. So Kids Time Foundation, you've already done very, very well. The mental health support charity for young people. Anybody else like to add to their donation?
Fred would love to add an extra 300 if someone would match it.
He would love to add 300 if someone would match it.
It'd be his dream.
Again, said slightly quizzically, which is always good. £300 matching just means that if you give 100, 100 goes from there to anyway, you'll get the idea.
Jan S 100.
Jan, 100. Thank you very much.
I'll match the 300.
So does that goes up? Then we've still got 200 on top of that, haven't we?
Yeah.
So I don't quite know how that works. Maybe somebody's going to help me, but still, there's a couple £100 more matching if people want to give more. Yes, I think there is.
Andrew, 100.
Andrew, 100. Thank you very much, Andrew.
Michael M, 200.
Michael M, 200. And are you going to nag him later then as well? In this kind of theme of the day. We get nagged later, which is quite good.
Another anonymous 300 match.
Anonymous 300 match. Oh, it's all coming now. So there's more now. Yes, okay. So 300 matched. That means if you give 100, that goes to it, and so on and so forth.
I'll do a further 100.
For Terry, another 100. Thank you very much, Terry.
Alex L, 200.
Alex L, 200. So that's that bit gone. But are we there now? Is that matching? I don't.
Yep.
Go on. So 8. So plus gift aid. There'll be over 9, maybe 9.5, something like that. I'm getting quite close to £10,000.
Oh, I've got a 250.
You've got a 250. what, a matchy thing, or just it goes in
Sure,
there?
why not?
Okay, so there's another 250 matched. Right, you know, so if anyone would like to add a little bit more, yes? Tom P, another 1,000. Thanks, Tom. My numeracy is now no longer even remotely good enough. It's quite a big number. It's fantastic. Well done. So well done, everybody. Anybody, any more? Any surprises? I don't know. It's only it's all.
Anonymous 75.
Anonymous 75. Thanks very much. Yes.
Carol L 25.
Carol. And you say anonymous 5. Okay, that's absolutely fantastic. I'm going to call it there. That's a great. That project's really, really kicking off. Well done you all, and well done the presenters as well, and it's a great project, really interesting thing, and well done, that's fantastic. Okay, Bet No More, the Gambling Addiction Charity, 5-3, so with gift aid it's getting quite close to £6,000, but would anybody else like to contribute more to Bet No More? Terry?
I'll do 200 if somebody will match it.
So Terry, 200 matched, yes?
Andrew 100.
Andrew 100, yeah.
Tom L 100.
Tom L 100, thank you very much, Tom.
Fred will do another 500 match.
Fred will do another 500 matched, said slightly more certainly this time.
It's the accent.
Yeah, Paul will give 100 to that matched. Jeffrey will do another 100 to that matched.
Jenny 200.
Jenny 200.
100 left.
100.
Patricia H. Match.
Patricia H 100. Thank you very much. Anybody else bet no more? So they've already done more than they want, and with gift aid they'll be over 7,000, 7,500, something like that.
250.
250.
No.
Anonymous.
Yes.
Yes, 250 in. Excellent. Thank you very much. 250 anon.
Another 300 match.
300 matched. Another 500. Thanks very much, Tom. Anyone else bet no more? Already they're doing very well. Anybody else?
Got anonymous 75.
Anonymous 75, thank you very much. Anonymous 75. So they're over 8,000, there'll be 8,500 I should imagine, with gift aid, something like that. So doing very well, that's excellent. Anybody else bet no more? This is your last chance, or our last chance, or whatever. Okay.
Carol 25.
Do you know, you're just sitting there going for glory every time. Just rounding up the numbers. Lee 150. Yeah, that was a bigger glory, wasn't it?
But I inspired him.
Do you know, that's so too neat.
Alex L 25.
Alex L, thank you very much. And as I've said before, we winkle out people with OCD now. They can't bear it. Anyone? Hey, it'll be the best part of £9,000, I should imagine. And with gift aid, so well done. Well done, everybody. That project better more. Okay, Curious Monkey, who actually with gift aid will probably be quite close there. Anybody else like to add more to Curious Monkey? Yes, sorry.
I'll do 200 if it's matched.
200 matched.
I'll do 250 if it's matched.
250 is matched, so that's 450 matched.
Andrew 200.
Andrew 200, thank you very much.
Another 50 and Malcolm 8.
Malcolm, another 50.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Malcolm, thank you.
There's 200 to be matched.
200 to be matched.
Sharon, we'll do 100.
100, thank you very much.
Jenny 100.
Jenny, 100, thanks very much. Is that the matching dog, is it? 6-4, so again that's it'll be over 7, I think. Yeah, definitely it will be. With gift aid, maybe a bit more. Anyone else for Curious Monkey? Yes. Tom, 500. Thanks very much, Tom.
I've got an anonymous 250 match.
An anonymous 250 matched. So people need to chip in to that. So 6-9. There's another 250 to be matched. Anybody else want to add to that? Yes?
25.
25, thank you very much. So that's another 100 and something. Yes?
Janet's 50.
Jones 50. How much is left now?
175.
175, okay.
100.
100, thanks very much. Yep.
75. Anonymous.
That's the matching.
Right, anybody else? This is last call now for Curious Monkey. They've done very well. 7-4. Oh, right, there's
Another
more.
300.
Another 300.
Matched if possible, but if not,
Oh. No, it's always good to try and get, just to make people hurt. Because it is really, it should be somewhere between the sacrifice and the gift, isn't that right, Fiona? I never remember the quote.
Yeah, something like that. Sacrifice.
Yes, something, yeah. Anybody else would like to add to Curious Monkey?
Katrina 100.
Katrina 100, Paul 100.
It's 100 and matching there.
I'm changing my form, which is what you need to do to make the details all add up. Otherwise I'll get in trouble. Oh dear. Right. Anybody else? Are we all matched and everything? We're all matched. 8,000. Look at how neat that is. Carol, you started everybody off with neatness. 8,000. Thank you very much. So Curious Monkey, well done. There'll be 9,000 at least, I should imagine. Well done. Okay, Temwa, still some way short. There'll be about 5, 6, maybe a bit more than that, maybe. Anybody else like to add to Temwa? Yes.
Fred will go 400 if it's matched.
Fred will go for 100 if it's matched. Thank you very
400.
much. 400.
Yeah.
Andrew 100.
Andrew 100, thank you very much.
Janice 100.
Janice 100, thank you very much.
Susan 100.
Susan 100, thanks Susan.
I'll do 200 if it's matched.
Okay, there's another 200 now into the matching pot. If anyone would like to add to Temwa. So 5, 6, they'll be over their 6, I should imagine now, but there's more money left in the pot for anybody.
300 and matching.
300 matching. So this is the last project, last. Yes?
50.
50. Thank you very much. Anyone else? Yeah.
Alex L 50.
Alex L 50. Thanks, Alex. Is that another 100? Is that right?
200.
Another 200 left. Last chance for those of you who've got change rattling in your pockets when you go home.
200, Roger.
Roger, 200 very much. Roger, thank you. Anyone else? Oh, did I see a hand? Done. Anyone else? Yep.
Finn L 50.
Finn L 50. Thanks, Finn. Yep.
Anonymous 300.
Anonymous 300. Thanks very much. 1,000. Thanks, Tom. Good effort, Tom. Thanks. Yep. So again, another project doing very well. Good projects for it. Yep.
I've got another anonymous 75.
Another anonymous 75. Thanks very much.
I've got an anonymous 250.
An anonymous 250. Thank you very much. So there'll be well over 8.5, I should imagine. This is it. Last hurrah, Carol.
25!
Look at that. Just, only a little bit more to make it even rounder.
Make my evening.
Yes, exactly. Anyone else? This is it. Last chance to donate. I mean, yes?
Patricia H100.
Patricia H100! Look at that. How round is that? Oh, what a neat evening. And on that, I'm going to call time. Thanks ever so much. So actually, I mean, that is actually a fantastic evening. I mean, we've done this many, many times. Sometimes projects don't do as well as others and so on. And that's been the case today, of course. Suddenly went. But that's a huge amount of money, £34,000. That's without gift aid, so with gift aid, and that'll be, oh gosh, quite a lot more, he said. So that's a huge amount of money. Thanks ever so much. We're going to call the projects in, if that's all right now. And say thank you to them all. We're very near the end of the evening, so I don't know how we're doing time-wise. I think we're doing quite well. We're sticking 5 minutes of time. We always try and stick to time. That's quite important. I hope those of you who've not been here before have enjoyed that. This is how it goes. Each evening is a bit like this. Fairly straightforward, and I think we release funds, I think, pretty effectively and efficiently, which is one of the things we pride ourselves on doing. And you've met some really interesting and inspiring people. So we'll get the projects in and say thank you to them. I would also like to say thank you so much to Rathbones for contributing the venue. Can we have a big round of applause? Come on in, everybody. Please come in. Funding Network, I'd like to say thank you so much, all of you, for coming along and for your really inspiring presentations and your bravery in doing it. It's not always that easy standing up at the front and doing all of that. Thank you very much. You've all done fantastically well. You have all raised your money and some more besides. I really want to say once again, on behalf of all the Funding Network, thank you so much for your inspiring presentations. Well done.
For both hosting us and for listening to us.
For those of you that are new to the Funding Network, if you'd like to join up as members, then that way you can bring projects to to go to the selection committee, and you can also obviously get in contact with projects and so on and so forth. Please join the membership. It's a bargain. It's absolutely fantastic value. Our next funding events, do we have them there? They are. You can see those. There's the Strategic Funding Group coming up. On the 12th of November, 19th of November and 26th of November in Dublin and Belfast, and I'm sure we have others around the world. We must have around the world things, Sydney, Toronto and so forth. There's many all over the place. So if you're travelling, don't forget there's often a Funding Network near you. So thanks so much for coming. I hope you've enjoyed the event, and good night. Thank you. Hand in your badges and stuff so we don't have to waste, yes. And checks, please, to our organisers, those of you that can do that straight away. That would be really lovely.
No, this is for direct debit. You can't take a bank transfer that way. A check, you can make a transfer to us. Our details are on this.
Yeah, that's what I do. I just the funds for that.
Yeah.
So I just do it myself.
You just do it yourself, yeah. Otherwise we can set you up a direct debit, and I'm sure you don't want to use this amount, you know.
My membership.
Oh, wonderful.
So that's
joining us as a member.
Well, so that's 170, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So that's fantastic.
You can do that with that transfer, or you can set up a direct debit.
So I feel that so I just need to not do that on my own bank transfer.
Don't do it on your own bank transfer. And can I complicate matters even further by saying that I'm our finance coordinator, and I just set up a really cool new direct debit system which makes my life a lot easier. Can I email you so you can do it online? And I'm sorry that you've already filled it.
So what, don't do my
Don't write it. And I will email you a much easier form, easier for me, I'm sorry. So yeah, don't do that, and then I'll email you a form to fill out, and then set you up on a membership direct debit.
So I just do this one myself.
Yeah.
So I don't, what do I need to do? What do I put this?
Only if you want your hands.
Sorry? No, I don't need to.
I'm going to email you.
It's the internet links. It's going to change.
Yeah, it's just we haven't updated our forms yet. Our technology is ahead of our.
So will I get an email about that as well? Or do I need to remember to get it?
I can remind you when I email you. As long as you've written it down. Now I will write myself a note because I'm acting like I'm going to remember this, but I will write myself a note to email you.
Brothers, yeah.
We've got our card. Oh, Jeremy. Give him. Brilliant. You give him
Thanks for coming down. Well, the organisation they have a specific program. So if I give you my card, happy to help.
Just in time. At some point. Goodbye, my love. Thank you so much. What it is like, you're already like that. Just reply to that. Better than the election. I do think that was better.
We're here for the Thank you so much for your support. Yeah. I want to go for a little tinkle or two. James,
Like people want to change, they come here. It was fabulous. I think the last time I went there, I think I saw it through my adult
You didn't do bad.
That's the corking there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I spent most of my weekends here.
How long have you been a member?
I think it
You
was
have been my buddies.
before Gift Day.
Did it make you feel happy to see?
Move through the crowds with the greatest illusions. Then there was a point when so the point was that there was a little bit and then so I decided to because that doubles obviously, so otherwise it no, I didn't say. I'm just a generous soul. About to go, yes, exactly. Wow.
We're going to head off to the pub. So we don't get a stuff
Keep up the good work.
Telling us that you're going to be a page isn't going
So anyway, I had it turned up to it. Well, I did end up giving more than I had expected. Yes, exactly. I had expected to give 0, but it was a little more. I'm going to go. Cheers. Your daughter did well. So yes, I did more than I expected. But I know I normally do. This one we need to get out. Hey, this is the one for you, and this one we need to get out of this year. Because we need 2. We had 2. Yes, exactly. That's the rough one. Yes, that's the rough one to get out of the building. So you say yes. Good to have a chat. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, okay.
Have you read this? Yeah.
Oh, we did. We agreed. So it's
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Is she Nigerian? It's so good. It's so good. Hi. How was it? Was it good?
Excellent. I loved it. Very moving. It was wonderful. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm really happy.
It was an exceptional night as well.
Was it? Well, that's good to hear for everyone.
Yeah. Okay.
So, because that all gets taken off the money. Yeah. Everyone, amazing.
It's still a good day, doesn't it? Obviously. Because you take the levy, it was so good.
We take the
Just see you later.
Yeah, but it's just that strictly speaking, you get to a point and then you say, oh, well, they make it up with live date anyway. Like, that might not be...
The levy is then coming off.
Because before gift day.
Levy comes off
After gift day.
Well, because you might
I'll just whoever's presenting it's not necessarily,
But we put it on there, but we need to. They pretty much always end up with more.
Don't
go down to the baby.
That's why I sprained in the first place. That's why I sprained in the first place. Yeah, literally. Dancing around here. So, they did don't bear weight in it. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to bear weight.
The lady
I forgot I wanted to give a thousand.
She's so
Yeah,
funny.
we're happy when we're in London. Thanks for coming.
Pleasure. Your hair really suits you.
Yeah, and my email's on there. Take it back.
It'd be great because you know it's something.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Trustees there.
Yeah.
We're going to be there too.
Oh yeah, you can come in as well. All of you.
We want to
We're going to give
present to them
an amazing
so
presentation.
effective and it works really well.
Yeah.
We'll show them a different way of doing it that is
See you
different
later
businesses
tomorrow.
and a manager.
Hi, Stephanie. I think so, but I'm not sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll be
Yeah,
Have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Alright, Jenny.
Hey, how you doing? Worry, I'm gonna.
Oh, my glasses.
No. I always end up with all the stuff at the end of the night. Actually, I am not for once. It's Kate and Charlotte. So we're going back to the office because Kate's never seen where we hide stuff. We come back with money and pledge forms and stuff, so we have to hide it away. So Charlotte is going to take her back. And it's kind of more on Charlotte's way home. It's not on my way home. It's not on Karen's way home. Well done. Thank you very much. It's good. Yeah. It was a really nice event, actually. The projects were really, really good.
And the people here were amazing.
Yeah, they were.
I was supposed to see him because he's coming to our event, our fundraiser.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, that's very nice. He's busy.
Oh,
He was going to check tonight, but it's great. I'll give him a call.
Yeah, I'm sure he won't forget. Yeah, and he doesn't mind if you chase him up for stuff like this.
No, because he's lovely. I actually met up with him for a drink a couple of months ago. We had the most amazing chat.
Really?
He was so cool, and he was telling me it was really, really good.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah.
It's very nice. Because he gave a lot too when I pitched in January.
Yeah, he's a really lovely guy. He's still quite shy.
He is, and it's him and foundation of their own.
Yeah.
So it's incredible. I love it.
Yeah, no, he was amazing. It's just, I think he really carries. It's like, you know, when you need when you need just kind of a big injection.
Who was that was given two? There was one guy that gave us
Tony.
two.
I don't know.
One girl that gave two.
Yeah, I don't know who Tony is. And that was what his name was.
I hope he's a member and he comes back.
I hope he does too. I don't. He might have been connected to one of the projects, but he seemed to give to different projects.
Yeah, you give a number of twos.
Yeah.
And Tom must have given like at least 5,000.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, me, so lucky to have such good members. Right, I'm gonna clear up a load of stuff in
Do
here.
you the hand or?
No, don't worry.
Find out.
No. Yes, of course. Are you coming to CFN? Is on the 12th of November, I think. Or maybe lying
I'll
about
get
that.
an invitation for
Yeah, cool.
I
Well, we should
I'm
do
not
something.
here on the 12th. I'm in India.
Oh no!
For the
Well, I was going to
morning.
say we should do something before then anyway, like go for a drink or something fun,
Yeah,
which
I really like
isn't
that.
an event.
Yeah, I know.
Because there's unlimited time to like
I would
talk
really
and
like-
stuff at
I
an
would
event.
really like. I was just thinking that actually, and also I would love to. Had an idea, and it's just an idea. And it's not. I have no idea about it yet. But I thought
No
of it
idea
as I was
about the
walking
idea.
in. Yeah, so I thought maybe it would be good to have lunch.
Yeah,
and just
definitely.
have one of our chats.
Absolutely.
It's been ages.
Yes, it has been ages. I'll
How's
send
Sonal
you.
doing, by the way?
She's fine. I actually haven't seen her since she left, but we are going to meet up at some point. I don't know. Karen has organised something. I don't know what exactly, but she seems happy. She seems fine. Charlotte and Karen are both seen her. She
Great.
seems good.
Yeah. No, let me know. I mean, I'm around, sporadically.
Okay. Well, I send you. I can maybe send you a doodle.
Yeah,
so that
through a
you can see.
doodle.
Yeah.
That's coming out at the end of the month, which is so nice for the
That's
fundraiser.
really nice. Yeah.
I've got this event on Saturday, and it's £50. I'm like, God, I just want it to be. I want at least 5 people, so I can
Yeah.
get it done, and then I can next time I won't do
Yeah.
£50. Obviously, I was trying to get £30, deal, but that woman was not very professional.
So are you going to like a place for?
It's a restaurant.
Okay.
The deal is to get a lot of food, brunch,
Yeah.
and an unlimited champagne for
Okay.
£50. Although it's like £45 or something, and I added a bit to
Yeah,
it because
yeah. You need to take a bit for organisation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An organization would just pay for my meal at least, right? And the speaker. But now I'm not going to get that. I was hoping to have 10 people because the room is for 10.
Yeah.
So I just need to find if I have to find out if I can cancel and not pay anything. So
No.
yeah, it just happens.
Yeah.
It's okay. Just have to plan it better next time. But yeah, it would be nice if this one worked out.
Yeah.
Something everybody.
I know,
everybody.
you always really want it to work when
Yeah,
you're organising
it's
something.
disappointing when
Yeah,
it doesn't,
it happens
so.
too. It happens. Happens to
Happens
us.
all the time.
Yes. Happens even when you're working with like an organisation that knows what it's doing and like, allegedly knows what it's doing and all that kind of stuff. So.
What I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm sure you do, we don't.
I don't really know what I'm doing.
Aww.
So yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we should meet up soon.
Yes. So I'll wait for your doodle and a hello to your boyfriend.
Oh yeah.
Alright.
Right, I'm gonna
Have a
whiz
nice
around and clean
evening.
everything up.
Okay.
Thanks, see ya.
Oh dear. Oh, you got everything?
Yeah, I'm just starting to clear things up.
You right, dear?
Yeah, no, checking back to my phone.
I'm gonna cut the put in glasses and stuff?
I'll just leave them on the side, the front of the house thing.
Is that alright? You don't want me to put them through in the other room or?
No, just leave them on the side. If there's room, just leave them on the windowsill. It just looks like a party. It does. It's the aftermath.
Yep.
Well, I think so, yeah. I mean, I like to be precise, yes. Yeah. So sometimes you sit in a meeting, you don't realise, do you? And then well, no, so I thought that down too. Yeah, I was impressed by the soap they had in the toilets.
I was as well. It just looks like
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's the details. You know, it's the finer details that they got me. I was the £10,000 paintings out on the wall.
That too.
Well, what, 10,000 higher from the National Gallery.
Jeez. Oh. I was going to say you don't get that when you work for a charity, but we're hosted by Brunswick, and they have Picassos on the wall. Yes. Exactly.
That's top us then. Oh.
Well, they're not ours, so you know.
Yeah.
But we get to live there for free. Oh, of course, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
I was particularly interested in the kid time one.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, their details are on there, so if you ever want to find out more about them or.
Because I used to do a lot of like charity bike rides. And I haven't done any for a couple of years.
You'd like to do something.
And I've been trying to find a new charity that I can sort of.
That would be really cool.
Really help.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it for the big ones because
it's nice when you find a small one that you really feel like it makes a big difference. But yeah, that'd be really cool. Let us know if you do. It's always the kind of thing we like to hear about. Yeah. Excellent.
All right.
Cool.
I think we're done. Yeah. All right.
I think we're not far off either.
Yeah, I just seen it develop. All good. Yeah, it must take me
Okay. All right.
Thank you. Well done. Very good presentation.
I need to flag a cab, but that's really
If you got that for the suitcase.
Away with it, sorry.
It's all about reusing.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Yeah.
It's really good.
It's a bit of a cliche, but it's going to make so much of a difference. So thank you so much.
Good to hear.
Thank you.
Thank you. Best part, really.